Hello, I'm João Svidzinski. I am presenting this paper with Alain Bonardi. Our paper is about Reinjection matrix with Faust. It's a technique we developed some years ago and we use it in several pieces. In our paper, we talk about two pieces, one of mine and one of Alain. And today I'm talking about more about the pieces we showed yesterday in the streaming concert. It shares the same tools, the same techniques. Uh, it's important to say that for us, we are composers, we are developer, but we are mainly activities composition in the composition, and we organize a lot of concerts, research creation concerts. One of the examples is the concert we organized yesterday, 1 year ago, sorry. And in this concert, we played for the first time the Inharmonique version, the Inharmonique new version of Jean-Claude Risset. And for this version, we didn't use Faust, but we are preparing a new release of this version with Faust. And we played the two pieces of our pieces in the same concert. So my piece, Les cris du 6e siècle, and one piece of Alain, dans la nef de nos songes. And with this, in these two pieces, we used the same techniques I will show you now. So when I said just now that I'm going to talk about the pieces we played yesterday. So for start, I'll talk about my piece, Lawrence Dream, and here is the max MP patch. So I just played the beginning of the piece. Of course, it's a piece for 8 channels. Here we are just listening for a small uh, stereo reduction. So at the beginning. Okay, that was just the beginning of my piece. Now Max is crushing. No, it's not crushing. Uh, it was not the first problem. But okay, so what's going on here? First of all, I have a sampler that plays the small sounds we listen in the beginning, and we have two main processes here. We have a harmonizer process and a granular process, and all these processes are linked with a feedback matrix. Here we have a lot of matrices, this object in max, and our feedback matrix actually are only the three here. So one for each process, here for harmonizer process, here for a granular process, and here for the whole process. I'll show you in detail how now if you go inside the patch, we see the two uh, objects. Here we have the Harmonizer-Delay made by Alain Bonardi, and here we have my granular Faust object. And when I mentioned yet, this matrix relies all the input and output inside the same process. What I mean, here I have with these two objects, I have seven channels of the same process in parallel. What I mean that for each channel, I have exactly the same process, but with a different controller. So for that reason, in this object, I can control individually each channel of my process. of course, it works with the harmonizer and works with granular as the same process. So, for example, here I'm just changing the size of the grain of the first channel, and here I changed the grain size of the second channel. Okay, but the goal here is to show the matrix and how it works. As I said before, we have seven channels. So with the matrix, I can route one the feedback of one channel to another channel. For example, here the sound that enters in the first channel, I can feedback it to the to itself, but I can feedback it to the other channel. For here, for example, if I if I set my matrix like that, I'm sending the first output of the first channel to the all the others channels. Okay, and it's the same with the granular. So here it's inside the for each process. With the feedback matrix here, I can feedback all the whole process. It means that the sound it's coming from the sampler here. I can feedback it with the for its for the each channel. So, for example, I can make something really strange like that. So the whole process is sending it feedbacking. Um, it feedbacking inside the whole process. What's important to note, uh, especially for my piece, that's we in the harmonizer controller we have a delay controller. So this delay we have a stretch control. So it means that I can really real delay for a small time for a microsecond time. So that make a roll is structure with the transposition. It means that I can make not the with a small amount of delay, I can make a structure that has more harmonical than than a line, for example, than a contrapoint delay. So, of course, there are many other things like bypass, for example, and but it's not the main subject of our discussion. So, how it works in the code? So, if I show you first, I can show the Alain Bonardi code. If I start for the end, here I can set how many channels it has. For example, here in this example, Alain set 16 channels. I can change for 7, for example, for my piece. And then all the stuff works here. There are three blocks, one block for input and output, and one block that has the process itself and with the metrics process. So the process itself is just a transposition harmonizer, in the time domain, and we have overlap the delay, as we said, I mentioned in the patch, and everything it's linked in the matrix, and the code matrix is quite small, but a bit tricky and important because it's thanks to this code we can link which channel. For my code, it's quite the same. Actually, I took the same code, Alain codes as basis, and I just changed the process to a granular process. It's here, and all the matrix code really the same. So to show you another example to clarify, I can show you the block process. Here it's a harmonizer. So I said all the stuffs work here. So we can see that the um, the delay and harmonizer block is here, and he can rely to n channel here thanks to the matrix process height here. Okay, so if you go inside the harmonic and delay block, there's no secret. The delay line, it's how I mentioned it yet. It's overlap the delay, and here on harmonizer as I showed in the code. And we have 11 channel, 11 time the same process. Okay, if I give you another example, here it's a small patch, but it's a patch based in a piece, Alain piece. So if I just put the beginning of the piece, I just check it out. So here we have just a short, a guitar short, and it's input in the first channel, and then here I don't know why, but it didn't set. We have the this input here linked and feedback to feedback are closed. No, it's okay. So the feedback it's on here, and he's sending to other channels the same sound. So if you check it, so if you listen to it, okay, here, and then now it's completely clear for us that we have the delay lines that makes a rhythm pattern that thanks to the matrix that can um, transpose the same note here and make the pattern with the delay lines. We can listen it again. Uh, we have only one instance, only one channel. It's sending, it's feeding our process, and then inside, thanks to the matrix, we can have this pattern. We can listen to it another time. Okay, so here I can change, for example, the delay time for and change the transposition. I'm just setting a random set just to notice the difference. Don't it's That's quite clear the difference. I can and as I said, I mentioned before in my piece. For me, I don't use long delay lines. I can just stretch the delay lines for a small amount, and then I don't have this rhythm pattern, but instead I have a harmonic structure, for example. And then I can even change the size of our windows to give a more a different results, for example. So it's interesting to note that only changing the window, we can change completely the sound results. So this example is just to show how we can use the matrix system to make complex structure with harmonic time time control really interesting. So for me, as I mentioned before, we have a, program concert that we played our pieces as I we played yesterday. But of course, the main pieces, the great pieces from the repertory, for example, Inharmonique from Risset, and work with it at the beginning, not with Faust, but with C sound and JavaScript. But for the next step, we are using um, Faust. But what I want to show you now is that for some piece of not piece but some portion of his code of a Risset code, we can use the same process, the matrix process, to achieve the same results. So for example, here in Harmonic code, I'm show you the PLF4. It's a Fortran routine. Here it's the Fortran code, original code. Here it's the transcription made by Antonio Sousa Diaz, which we used for our new version of uh, our a real-time version. And here I show you the Music 5 code. So for this routine here, what I have to give frequency, reference frequency here is, and then it make some harmonics, some partial here. Uh, here 10 partials, and each partial are offset in the time and with amount of transposition. So if you listen to it, you listen that there's a frequency coupled with this its harmonic offset. If I can play an, uh, an excerpt of it. Of course, here there are a lot of things going on, but what's interesting for us is this pattern here. So we listen the beginning, there's a note here, the reference note, and then all the harmonics offset. I can play it again just for donc here in the beginning we listen to this routine. So what I'd like to do is to try to have the same results with Faust and with our matrix system. So here I set the same offset delay of the sound, and with, of course, the transposition. And here I have the matrix that make the reinjection to make this offset. So if I take the same reference, I can try to have the same results. Actually, it's not the same. I think I changed the stretch, so try it again. So it's not actually the same. I don't know with the Alain example, I did change some aspect of the parameters, but we listen to it and you notice that it's quite similar. So we have this, we can have the same behavior of the Music 5 code with our system, and that show us that the matrix tool it's quite powerful. So we can make a lot of different sound results with Faust code and with this different setup that can make different results. And it's interesting to make mixed music as well as electroacoustic music. All the code and the piece itself are available on GitHub. We'll put the link in our in description of this video, and you can check it out by yourself. So thank you very much. I wish you a good Faust conference for you all.